Greetings in the name of the Most High. You done know. Welcome to It's Our Thoughts, Not Yours podcast. I am your host, OG. You done know, flying solo today. No little bully, no lash. And this week's episode, it's been a interesting week once again. And I'm gonna start off this week's episode with, well, before I start everything off, gotta give some shout outs. First of all, shout out to my spiritual brother Alan. Big up, brethren, you done know. Shout out to my spiritual brother Isaiah. Shout out to my big spiritual brother Dudgy, aka the owner of Belmont Vegetarian. Shout out to my brethren Dudgy, my spiritual brother who I've known since I was like 12, I believe. I is 46 now, so Negro, I've known you forever, B. So big up and thank you for the spiritual guidance. I know you said you was happy that I finally finally woke up, but honestly, I can't take all the credit of waking up. Like it's been a process, man. But I think the dude that actually lit the flame under me was my spiritual brother Alan, man. He's been a huge influence over me, and I really appreciate all the information, all the books he's having me read. Yo, sidebar, son. Bro, I've been, the last 2 days, I've been so tired. And I think I've been tired because I've been reading so much. Like I've really been digging deep into to the spirituality that I'm going through right now. I've been digging deep because my spiritual brother Alan has sent me so many material to read. And I'm like, I think my brain is getting overwhelmed. So I also read too that I need to like slow down, don't absorb so much information at once. And I think that's why I've been tired the last 2 days. And plus, I don't think I took my vitamins. So I think that's why I've been a little tired. But shout out to my brother Alan, man. Like that dude lit the little flame under me and boom, just went up. Sidebar for y'all. Another sidebar. My spiritual brother Alan, him and I are born on the same day. So I've never met anybody in my life who was born on my birthday. We're just 10 years apart. I'm just 10 years older than him, but we're born on the actual same day. Dread, when I tell you that when I talk to this man, it's like I'm talking to myself. With the exception of when it comes to his spirit, his spirituality, he reminds me of Dudgy. Like their level is just way up there, son. Like their level, the knowledge that they have is just, it's mind blowing. I cannot wait till I get to that level when I know all of this knowledge that they have. But again, I really thank him for lighting that little flame under me. Because like he said, it was always there. I just been suppressing it, right? And then when him and I had a conversation, I want to say like a month back, that really just like he lit the spark under me, and then boom, that flame been lit, and that flame has just been growing and growing and growing day by day. Like the biggest takeaway that I have is knowing myself. It's crazy to say at 46 years old, walking this earth, never knew myself at all. But now I fully understand who I am. I fully understand why I think the way I think. I fully understand why certain things in my life didn't work out. Like everything makes sense, Dread. Like everything makes sense now. And because of that, because I know who I am now, it is so much easier for me to deal with people. That was one of the biggest problems I used to always have, even though I can finagle a way to get along with people. People just confuse me sometimes. But now that I understand myself, I'm able to interact with these human beings on a whole nother level. It's a little bit easier now. I'm letting things roll off my chest. You're probably wondering why I'm saying all of this stuff, but you'll see later on in the pod as I do my opening monologue today, as I'm recording this Saturday morning. And the reason why I'm recording this Saturday morning is because when I record for the pod, my spirit has to tell me what we're going to talk about. I will never just turn this mic on just to talk. I got to have a reason to talk. So throughout the week, I do so much meditation, so much reading, and I watch, YouTube. So it's like a little spark goes into me and says, that's what we're going to discuss. So as the week was progressing, certain things were occurring, and I was like, still not ready to talk yet. And then little bully called me and was like, he wants to discuss something. And I was like, you know what? We're going to hold that, what you want to discuss, for Sunday, because what little bully wants to discuss, I actually want to discuss too. It's a larger topic for discussion. It's more dealing with relationships and certain things in those relationships. And we want to talk about it because it's a show on Netflix that I watched first, and him and his girl just watched it, and they want to talk about it. So it's actually a really good topic, y'all. I think you guys and ladies are gonna love it. But anyway, when I started this podcast, my original idea was to have my son and his girlfriend co-host with me, and I wanted Chevy to help co-host with me, but Chevy leads a busy life, so that's a no-no. Little bully, he's in college. His girl, she's trying to, pursue her acting career. She wants to be an actress. So she's, getting these little side gigs. So she's always hustling, bustling, like she's always busy. And then, my son just broke his foot. So he's out of commission right now. So all of this stuff going on. And I'm like, damn, it's just me then. But then I started to think about it. I was like, you know what? I think I could hold on the pod by myself, son. Like I really could. Like this talking is not a problem. I think I just needed confidence, right? With everything in life, you need confidence and you need reps. It's like sports, nigga. It's like playing quarterback. You need reps. So I figured to myself, I was like, you know what? Because of the JP I do, the JP helps me talk. I have to speak. So speaking is not my issue. I can talk, even though sometimes I may stumble on my words here and there, but speaking is my skill. Like I got the gift of the gab. God has blessed me to talk. But then I was like, damn, son, how am I going to hold on a pod by myself? Because I watch and listen to a lot of pods. And I don't really see nobody holding on a pod by themselves, like just dolo. They normally have one person to bounce something off of. And I'm like, damn, son, I need another co-host. But then God was telling me, no, you don't. You don't need nobody, Dread. I will give you the words, your angels, your spirits, your guides. They will give you the words to speak. You just need to go practice on that microphone. So when you're preaching, my words, you won't be stumbling on your words and you'll speak confidently. So my goal with this podcast is to give my sermons, my testimony, and to give God's word. That is what my podcast is going to be now. I was trying to figure out, what is my pod going to be? What do I really want this to be? Because I've been quiet for so long. So many of my peoples that I grew up with, they haven't heard from me, seen me, nothing. And I'm like, this would be a good idea for them to catch up with their boy until I flick that camera on. Because right now I'm just doing the audio thing because I'm trying to learn how this edit stuff works. And I'm just trying to learn. I'm trying to creep before I walk. The video stuff will come next. But right now I just want to do audio. See it? But I also want to have this pod to have a purpose. And because I've always been this spiritual person, but I've just been suppressing my spirit. And now that my spirit is coming out and I know what my purpose on this earth is, I've pretty much figured out what my role is and what God wants me to do. God wants me to give his message. You know what I mean? So since God wants me to give his message, son, that's what I'm going to do. That's what this pod is going to be. I'm going to talk about everything, but I'm also going to always throw in some type of something spiritual into the pod. So with that being said, my first topic I want to talk about today, your boy got to talk about this today. My first topic is Big Daddy Kane versus KRS-One, aka the Godfather of rap, in the versus battle that took place in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center, my former hometown, my former city. Son, yo, rude boy, man, I show you, yo, that versus be, I'm not gonna hold you, son. That versus beat, I don't want to be a prisoner in the moment. See, I let it settle down. Like everybody, the bloggers, everybody went online and was giving their opinion and everything. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna hold it in and let it sink in a little bit. Because I've been watching the verses, son. Like I've been watching the verses. At first, it was, when it first started, it was kind of cheesy, but it got better. As time went on, it got better. Brethren, I had thought Bounty Killer versus Beanie Man, to me, my thoughts, I thought that was the best verses because that was a verses. Like, that's what verses is, son. I don't think people realize reggae kind of like birthed hip hop. You know what I mean? It's the same shit. Reggae and hip hop is one of the same. Pete, reggae, especially reggae dancehall, you have your DJ. Hip hop, you have your DJ. Reggae dancehall, you have your sound system now. That's very important. Your sound system, right? That's part of the DJ in reggae. And hip hop, they don't really focus on the sound system. They more focus on the DJ. Then you have the MC. So in hip hop, you have the MC. In reggae dancehall, they don't call him that. Well, they kind of they call him an MC. He's an MC too. So in reggae, they call the DJ the selector, and they call the dude on the mic in reggae the dude on the mic. He's the MC. So you see the parallels here. Hip hop and reggae dancehall is one of the same. It really is. So when I saw Bounty Killer versus Beanie, I'm like, yo, Dread, that's a versus. You know what I mean? Beanie got the edge on. I gave Beanie the edge, but Bounty held it down. But I gave Beanie the edge on that one, and that versus, to me, my thoughts, that was the best versus. Then came the Locks versus Dipset. Yo, Jadakiss killed that. Jadakiss turned into Steph Curry that night, son. He went bananas. So I was like, all right, that was pretty fire. Like I always knew the Locks. Everybody who knows hip hop knows the Locks is nice. Nigga, look at their history. They've been together for over 20 something years. They never broke up. They're friends. Like, you know what I mean? But then came Big Daddy Kane versus KRS-One. This one was really different. This one hit different because now you're talking about the 80s, the late, the mid to late 80s, into the early 90s. This was my era. All the old heads, this was our era. And I was very interested to see how is Big Daddy Kane and KRS-One going to perform in the year 2021. Well, ladies and gents, it is safe to say hip hop is timeless, son. These dudes' songs are classics. I couldn't believe in this day and age, those beats still bang. And it went back to the old adage I've always had, son. It's pretty simple to me, son. There's nothing rocket science about it. If the beat matched the lyrics and the lyrics match the beat, Negro, you have a classic on your hand. Classic. It don't matter whatever you're going to play. Because to me, that is the fundamental of music. Does the beat match the lyrics? And does the lyrics match the beat? KRS-One and Big Daddy Kane, these are old niggas. All right? And I don't mean old in disrespect, but old as in performing this type of music on stage. Brethren, you got to have breath control. Your diction got to be on point. Like, they're not playing vocals. They're playing the instrumentals and they spitting their rhymes from 30 plus years ago. Do you know how hard that is? Big Daddy Kane, bro, is a beast. An absolute monster. If you pay attention to his lyrics, his breath control, his diction, at the age, I believe he's 53, yo, son, I was highly impressed. Not only that, let's flip it to my man, KRS-One, the godfather of rap, the MC of all MCs. If you want to know where all of these MCs come from, it's him, KRS-One. He is the godfather of MCs. You can't even put him in a top 5 or top 10. He's in a category by himself. And the funny thing is, to me, he's always been that dude. Anytime, even back in the day when everybody was talking about Big and Pac and Meth and Redman, yo, I'm telling you, KRS-One was in a category by himself. You can't put him in the top 3, top 5 because he's a different dude. This man is such a highly intellectual individual. It's not even funny. He's an activist. He's political. He's all of that stuff. But you give him that microphone beat, he's Mike Tyson. He's a monster, and he's coming to knock you out. He don't care if you and him are brethren. To him, when it comes to hip hop, it's a battle sport. It's competitive. He was the one that always set that trend. He was always that dude to battle you. He didn't care. But then what made him so fucking nice was he was mixing the patois, the Jamaican, with the hip hop. Nigga, he would spit reggae, hip hop at the same time. So that style that he had, like, the bridge is over, the bridge is over, bye-bye, the bridge is over, the bridge is over. Hey, nigga, that's a hip hop rap song, but it's a battle song dissing a whole borough. Dissing a whole borough. He didn't even go after just Sham and Marley. Marley went after the whole borough, Queensbridge, and he's flipping out on Jamaican and hip hop. Come on, Dre. Why y'all chat rude, boy? Y'all don't even know. KRS-One mother's Jamaican. So for us, we know he's Jamaican. The same thing with me. My mother and father is Jamaican. I just ended up born here. I was conceived in Jamaica, but I ended up born here. KRS-One, same thing. He's born in Brooklyn, raised in the Bronx. His mama is Jamaican. Yo, that was a celebration. If I have to give it who won, I would say the culture one. Yeah, I'm a cop out, son. The culture one. But if you want to say, come on, son, come on, who won, nigga? Who won? I would have to give the edge to KRS-One slightly. I think they did 20 rounds. I would give it to KRS-One slightly, just a tiny bit. But you can't front on Kane. Yo, Kane held it down, bro. I'm so proud of that man. Like, I did not know Kane was always nice, but to hear him after all of these years, to me, he sounded even better. KRS-One is KRS-One. You know what I mean? But this was a win for hip hop because they brought out the break dances, bro. Break dances. I want to say this, man. I don't think people realize hip hop is just more than music. It's breakdancing, it's skateboarding, it's BMX, dirt bikes, riding, all of that. It's clothes, it's podcasts now. Hip hop is so much more than just music. And that versus between Big Daddy Kane and KRS-One was a celebration of the hip hop culture. That's what bridged the racial gap. It brought everybody together, man. Everybody, hip hop is such a beautiful thing. It's black music that started out in the Bronx by Puerto Ricans and blacks. Puerto Ricans and blacks in the Bronx birthed hip hop. So that was a celebration of the culture. It was a win for the culture, man. And it was a win for Big Daddy Kane and KRS-One. In the reggae culture, getting older doesn't mean you're washed up, Dread. Getting older in reggae music, you're celebrated. It's the opposite in hip hop. It's like getting older. Niggas be like, nigga, we don't want to hear your old ass, nigga. Sit down. Nah, that's disrespect. If these dudes still have the lung capability to go out there and perform, the breath control, the diction, if they still have that skill, that God-given talent, son, we need to celebrate that. It's like what Fat Joe said. These niggas still got teeth. You should want to go see these dudes perform. Facts. So that was a beautiful display for all the young dudes in the game now. Look at these OGs and say, you know what? I want my career to be something like that. It don't have to be the same thing, but you want to be relevant 20 years from now, 30 years from now. You don't want to be a one-hit one that make you a little money, then you just fade away. You want to be a legend in this game. And that was a hip-hop lesson 101 for everybody. Young, old, don't matter. That was a hip-hop lesson for everybody. That was a win for the culture, man. So shout out to the two kings, Swiss and Timbaland, and everybody involved in the verses, man. It's getting better and better each time, man. So that was a win for hip hop. So shout out to everybody involved. If you haven't seen it, I highly suggest that you go watch it. It's a win. You're gonna enjoy it. Like it was beautiful. Roxanne Shante, you talking Greg Nice. Yo, Das Effects was there. Like, come on, son. It was just giving me goosebumps. And seeing all of these brothers, they still can spit. I'm like, damn, son, these niggas can still spit. Where they at? So now I want to see like a 80s tour, son. I want to see LL, but it's like, who they gonna put up against LL? You know what I mean? I would love to see LL, but who are they gonna put up against LL? And a dude we're forgetting about is Redman. The thing for me, I wanted to see not Redman, excuse me, my bad, Busta Rhymes. Shout out to Redman. It was Busta Rhymes, I was gonna say. Who are they gonna put up against Busta Rhymes? To me, why I said Redman, I was thinking of Redman was I want to see Busta Rhymes versus Redman. Busta is such a heavy lyricist. He's a problem. So you need somebody that can match his lyrics. Redman, you know what I mean? Or a good match would have been, in my opinion, Ludacris. Ludacris is another dude. He always reminded me of Busta Rhymes a little bit. That would have been a great match. That would have been, Atlanta versus New York, Busta versus Luda. Because I'm like, who? You can't just... Busta is he's a legend. He's a GOAT too, son. He's a monster. Who are you gonna put up against Busta Rhymes, Dread? Who in hip hop? I would love to. I have no clue. Who on the West Coast? Who on who you gonna put up against Busta Rhymes? You can't put Snoop up. I love you, Snoop, but I don't think you can handle Bust. You need a heavy hitter to deal with Bust. I don't know who they're gonna put up against Bust. Son. It should have been Ludacris, in my opinion, or if not Luda, Redman. You need a lyrical person, or Black Thought. But Black Thought is with the Roots. How would that work? You need a heavy hitter to go against Busta. Nas. I know everybody wants to see Nas, Jay-Z. I don't want to see that. I want to see Jay-Z, Eminem. That would be interesting. So, yeah, man. Shout out to the whole Versus team. That was dope. So now, that was, my little Versus thing. So later on in the week, I go to the Jamaican spot. And I went to the Jamaican spot just to get a soup because, your boy's pretty much a vegan now. And I eat meat out of them thing there. So I went to the Jamaican spot because I wanted a soup. Sidebar, got to drink some water. Drink that water, OG. Shout out to PSA Hip Hop 3-letter man. Shout out to that brother. That's his saying. So I go to the Jamaican spot and I'm in there and this beautiful sister is in there, son. Beautiful chocolate, just a beautiful sister, son. Beautiful empress. So I'm sitting there, I go in there, do my usual, greetings in the name of the Most High, because that's how I greet everybody. Greetings in the name of the Most High. So, the ladies in the restaurant, they big me up. So I tell one of the ladies in the spot, like, yo, you done no more my regular thing, soup, no meat. So the Black Empress now, she looks at me and says, no meat. Why no meat? And I was like, oh, it's because I'm on a diet. Like I had a little health scare back in 2019. So ever since then, I was like, I ain't ramping with my health no more. So, I've been on this diet. I eat a lot of vegan. And I was telling her about the G spot, Belmont. I said, that's why I normally go grab grub now. And she's like, oh, I know that spot. That's where I go to pick up food for my dad. I was like, oh, word, that's what's up. That's my man. Like the dude that owned that spot, he's the reason why I'm in Worcester. That's my man. And she's like, oh, okay, that's what's up. And, we just started talking. And then she's like, how much weight did you lose? I was like, yo, I went from 220 to like 170. And she's like, wow. She's like, all you did was just change what you put into your body. I was like, that was it. I was like, the next step in the process now was to go to the gym and, tighten some stuff up. And then, I ordered my soup and then she got her food. She paid for her food and she told the lady behind the counter, I was like, yo, I'm paying for this brother's food right here. She was like, lunch is on me. So I was like, yo, word? Yo, dog, that that made my day. You know what I mean? Like me and Shorty was just talking it up, some spiritual stuff. I told her I'm a spiritual man. She's like, yo, she's a spiritual woman. And we was just chopping it up, talking. And then, out of the kindness, out of her heart, she bought your boy lunch. And I thought that was the sweetest shit ever. You know what I mean? I thought that was the sweetest shit ever. And no, I did not try to kick it to her. I'm not a disrespectful dude like that. So I opened the door for her and told her thank you and everything. You know what I mean? But I didn't go grab her number or anything like that. That's not how I get down, son. I'm not a disrespectful dude like that. I have boundaries. But I just thought it was really cool that she did that for a dude. And I love that, son. And it just goes to show you when you vibrate on a high level, you just connect with people. She just did something out of the kindness out of her heart. And I do the same thing for people too. So it was pretty dope to see somebody do that for me. So I thought that was pretty dope, son. She made my day. I never got her name. I should have got her name because I would have shouted her out on the pod, but I'll just call her the Black Empress because she was a beautiful queen. You know what I mean? So shout out to that sister there, man. And now, piggybacking off of that, I want to discuss my spiritual state of mind. This is very important. And you're going to see why I'm going to discuss my spiritual state of mind. I'm going to bring it back to something. I've always been a spiritual dude. Have I been a religious dude? Nah, son. Religion and me don't mix. Trust me. Your boy looked into all of these different religions. It just don't resonate with me. I'm a spiritual dude. I believe we are spiritual beings having a human experience. I'm going to say that again. I believe my thoughts that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, right? I've always felt that way. That's why I've always been fascinated with the universe. I've always been fascinated with the pyramids in Egypt. I've always been fascinated with humans. I've always been fascinated with Earth, like with history. Like these are the things that gets me stimulated. So like I love those things. So I've always believed that. So now that I'm looking into my spirituality, I'm looking into these things, I'm like, yo, this is cool. So it's like I've always been a calm dude. I've always been a dude to stay in my lane. I've always been a dude to like, yo, as I got older, I got less confrontational. When I was young, I was a wild dude. Like, wow, I was a street nigga. But as I got older, I got married, had kids, niggas started becoming domesticated. I started slowing down, really slowing down. Stopped hanging with dudes. And then when me and my ex-wife broke up and I got divorced, I became isolated. Like I stuck to myself. I stopped hanging with niggas. Like a lot of things happened. So I was just like, you know what? Let me just fall back. But then I met Miss G. And then Miss G built me back up, made me feel like a man again. But she was a conservative Christian. Took me to church all the time. Shout out to Miss G. She'd always talk to a dude, preach to me. Made me feel like a man. I love her. Made me feel like a man. Shout out to Miss G. And then when me and her broke up, by myself again. This whole time I'm by myself, though. I'm not connecting with God. I'm still doing dumb shit. That's not connecting with God. Then, I met my spiritual brother, Alan. Then I met my spiritual brother, Isaiah. These dudes are really spiritual. Like they don't attach themselves to no religion. They know about all religions, but they're spiritual people. These brothers was just talking things that I believed in, that I've always believed in. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. And then when my spiritual brother Alan told me his birthday, I was like, wow, son, this makes all sense. So I've always been a spiritual dude, son. I was just suppressing my shit. I don't like confrontation now. I'm all about tranquility, love, joy, happiness. I'm about communication. I'm about talking. I'm about preaching. I'm about giving a sermon. I'm about giving testimony. These are the things I'm about now, right? When my peoples call me and they want to talk and I give them my testimony or my thoughts, that's all it is. It's my testimony. It's my thoughts. Sometimes it's a sermon. I've been getting a little preachy lately. I don't know why, son. I'll just start talking and then boom, I'll just get into preacher mode. But that's just me changing, right? That's me becoming a new man. And the more I learn about these things, the more you're going to see this change in me. So you're probably wondering, where's OG going with this, son? Where I is going with this is, y'all know my sister got stage 4. She's terminally ill. She got stage 4 cancer. So her graduation is coming up. The doctors, according to the doctors, they said she might have 2 weeks, maybe a little bit longer, but you know what I mean? So, I think I told y'all the last episode, I spoke to my sister, gave her a sermon and everything. She didn't even know. So before I made that call, I had to do some meditation and I asked God to give me the words to say. I'm going to say that again. I asked God to give me the words to say, because what words can I say to my sister who knows she's going to pass? So I had to do some meditation and ask God to give me the words to say. And I preached the words that God gave me to say. I say that with my family got upset with me for giving my sister that sermon about not being afraid to embrace what's about to come and not to worry because she's going to a place where there's no pain. She's going to a place where there's love, there's joy, there's tranquility. There's her sister waiting for her, her grandmother, her uncles. She has family waiting. And while she's physically on this earth, all she's in is in pure pain. So as a spiritual man who cares for all human beings, regardless if you're family, regardless if you're white, regardless if you're gay, regardless if you're straight, you're a human being. I care for you. I don't want to see nobody in pain, B. I don't. It tears me up. It hurts my soul, my spirit, when I see another human being suffering. Because in my mind, I'm like, Star, why is this person sitting here suffering, B, when they can go to a place where there's none of that nonsense going on? They don't have to suffer no more. They can get their wings and become angels and still do work just in a different way. And now you're happy. Forget this physical world that you're in. I don't want to see my sister in pain, man. I don't. But for some odd reason, my family took that the entirely wrong way. And what annoyed me, because I'm such a spiritual man that's trying to vibrate on a high level and stay positive, what annoyed me was my mom's called me. Okay, my mother called me. And I don't like when they call my mother instead of talking to me. Because if they would have spoke to me, and my number's been the same for over 15 years, maybe longer. All right, I've had this phone number forever. I don't change numbers, B. The only time I change, if I'm going to change numbers, something happened to me. My number's been the same for 15 years. Why are you calling my mom talking about me? I'm a grown-ass spiritual man. You call me. You don't call my mother. My mother's an old lady, man. I try to have her live her elderly years in tranquility. She called me upset that the family's talking trash about me, saying I was coming with negative words and all of that stuff towards my sister. And I'm like, I'm laughing. I'm like, Mommy, it's okay. I said, Mommy is okay. They don't know no better. They're humans. They don't know no better. See, what my family don't know is I'm very quiet and I watch and I observe. I learned that from the military. Sorry. I watch and I observe. I watch them and their so-called religion. And I'm like, you cannot talk this way and act this way if you're really following these teachings, because you're not. And I was like, if they had any type of religion backbone in them at all, any type of religion in them, any type of belief, they would have known what I said was nothing negative. As a matter of fact, they probably or should have said, you know what? We need to stop with this fake facade. What that told me with my family and what I learned from that situation was they're fake. They want to put up this fake facade and like everything is rosy, everything is great. And I'm like, that's a sin in your religion to lie like that. You're lying to a person who's passing away to go tell them what they look great. Everything is going to be fine. You're sinning by doing that. And that's a wicked sin. That what you're doing is horrible. It may not be negative because you're not using negative words. And I didn't use negative words. I just preached like a pastor. That's all I did. What if you want to lie to her face, then you're wicked. That tells me about you, your character. Your character defines who you are as an individual. I will not look my sister in the face and lie to her and tell her, you're going to be fine. Everything's going to be great. You look awesome. Nah, I'm going to tell her the hard truth. But with that hard truth, I'm going to give her comfort in that. I was annoyed that my family took that the wrong way, but I didn't. What I took from that was I have to leave these people be. Because what I learned from that little situation is my family know of me, but they don't know about me. They know of me, but they don't know me. They have no idea who I am. None. And the reason why I say that is I live in Massachusetts. I can tell you how many times I've called my family since I've been out here. Maybe 3. I've been out here for over 25 years. I don't contact nobody in my family. That right there should tell them a message. If I don't contact you, B, about anything in my life, that should tell you a message. That right there should tell you everything you need to know about me. That, I don't subscribe to any of y'all foolishness at all. I move differently. I flex differently. I've been through a lot in my life out here, and y'all will never know unless I discuss it on the pod. That's the only way y'all gonna know it, if you listen to the pod. I would never tell them anything about me. And I do that on purpose because I've never felt like there was family to me. My family, for me, is Jamel's family, is Emil's family. Emil's family always been family to me. They always treated me that way. My own family from my mother's side, I never felt like they were family. It just felt like people that I know because of my mom's. I don't know nobody on my father's side. Nobody. I know of them, but I don't know them. Hear what I just said? On my father's side, I know of them, but I don't know them. It's the same thing with me. My mother's family, they don't know me. They know of me, but they don't know me. So when all of that nonsense went down, it was just God shining the light on everything. And I praise God and I thank the universe for shining the light. I will just I want them to have tranquility, love, joy, and happiness, but they will never hear from me again. I will leave them be. They will never, ever hear from me again, and they will never see me again. Because from this point forward, I march to God's words, not theirs. Because they don't know me, I'm going to just leave them be. If they want to get to know me, they can listen. They can get to know me through the pod, but they won't get to know me physically face to face anymore. Because that really annoyed me. And I had to do some meditation because I had to ask God, did I do something wrong? And God was like, no, because so many things God showed me that I didn't do anything wrong. A very close family friend to my mom, my mother confided in her. I'm not going to mention this person's name, but they told my mom Amar didn't do nothing wrong. And then, this is the cherry on top right here. No pun intended, Auntie Cherry. My Auntie Cherry, right? Let me see. I think I've seen this lady maybe 4 times in my life, right? Maybe 4 or 5. I haven't seen her since I became a grown ass man. I haven't seen my auntie. Do you know, me and this woman never agreed on anything in my life, but me and her agreed on this one. She said she does not see anything that I did wrong. This is my Auntie Cherry. When I tell you this woman she's rough around the edges. Let's put it that way. My Auntie Cherry is very rough around the edges. And even she said, I didn't see anything Omar did wrong. My brother Troy, he spoke to my mom because my mom told me. And for Fun fact for you there, Mr. Troy. I'm the one that told mommy, stop with the foolishness and talk to you. See, y'all don't even know the things I do behind the scenes for y'all. But I had to just throw that out there. Anyway, Troy spoke to my mom's, and my mother was telling him, and Troy said, Amar didn't do nothing wrong. Troy, and right now he's mad at me over some stupidness, but even he said, I didn't do anything wrong. So that was God again, because I'm a spiritual man. I don't believe in coincidence, Dread. Everything happens for a reason. It was already written. What my family was behaving, what their character showed was resentment towards me. They used that as an excuse to bring out that resentment that they always had underneath towards me. So because see, my family doesn't know how deep of a thinker I am. Because I sit back and I analyze everything and I looked at that situation and I said, oh, these people don't like me. They really resent the dude. Because I'm like, why would you get mad about what I said? I gave her a sermon. I preached. And I was like, oh, I get it. I'm cool. I get it. I understand. Then I read something because I told you I do a lot of meditation and it came to me. I have to let my family go. I have to let them go. And there's no hard feelings. I just have to let them go because I'm a spiritual man. I'm a man walking my path. And God has a plan for me. And that plan does not include my family. So I have to let them go. And I did. So I just had to share that with y'all. It was a very interesting week. And, with that being said, I am going to talk about my brethren, my spiritual brother, Alan, who called me. What's today? Saturday? My spiritual brother, Alan, is a truck driver. Dude works hard. He's trying to get me to get my CDL. And I'm still thinking about it, by the way. I haven't decided yet, but I'm still thinking about it. CDL makes good money. So I'm thinking about it. But anyway, my spiritual brother, he texts me. And he's like, brother, I'm so proud of you. So I text him back. Ah, shit, good looking out, Dread. Thank you, brother. Bless. But I'm like, what the hell is he proud of me of? I was like, I'm tired, nigga. I'm going back to bed. So I went back to bed. And then he called me like 10 o'clock. I get up at 11. So he called me. I think I was awake already. Yo, God is crazy because normally I wake up at 11. I actually woke up a little bit before 10. And when I woke up, I want to say maybe like 5-10 minutes later, my phone rang. It was my spiritual brother, Alan. He's like, yo, brother, I just had to call you. He's like, I listened to the pod. And he's like, yo, you had me almost in tears, B. I was like, what's up? He's like, first, I want to say my condolences to you and your family about your sister. I was like, oh, no doubt, no doubt. And he's like, Dread, the story that you told about the sermon you gave, he's like, yo, that resonated with me. Like, I felt that. And I was like, Dread, it was all the teachings, all those books that you gave a nigga. I've been reading like a mofo, son. When I say reading, y'all, it's a little different. I'm listening to audiobooks, so I'm not really reading, but I'm listening to the books. And he's like, oh, you listening to the book? Nigga, I'm listening to books. You're the one that got me on this path. But I told him, I was like, Dread, it's you. It's because of you that I'm on this path. But I'm like, this is how it was supposed to happen. Like you and I were supposed to cross path. It was meant. It was already written. And like I said, me and this dude, me and my spiritual brother, Alan, we would have some deep conversations, son. Right. But one of the lessons he taught me was being spiritual. You cannot talk about that with everybody because they don't understand certain things, right? And because they don't understand certain things, like he explained to me, it's not their fault. So because it's not their fault, you got to fall back. So he saw certain things in me, he said. He again, it goes to boundaries. He has boundaries, very clear boundaries. He will not cross his boundaries. But he said he saw certain things in me. So he's like, yo, this dude is my sign. Him and I talk the same language. Maybe I could drop some spiritual gems on it. Dog, once he dropped the spiritual gems, this nigga opened a Pandora's box. Like I said, My light was already there. It was just, it was just dim. He just sparked that flame, son. Now my shit is blazing. So yeah, he loved the pod. Again, God used him as an affirmation for me to let me know I didn't do anything wrong. Because again, I told y'all, my family had me questioning shit. Like I really did something wrong. And I'm so careful not to cross any boundaries. And I'm like, damn, son, did I cross a boundary? God was like, no, you didn't cross no boundary, Jack. My spiritual brother Alan confirmed that I didn't cross any boundaries. I didn't even tell him what happened. See, I didn't tell him what happened because I wanted to see if was this God telling me everything is fine. I didn't do nothing wrong. I'm doing God's work. So my spiritual brother Alan, he loved the pod, man. When I talked about my sister and the sermon that I gave her, he loved it. He said it almost brought him to tears. It resonated with him. That's why he wanted to talk to me. Again, God is using him as a vessel to let me know I'm on the right path. Continue to do thy work. So it shall be. So shout out to my spiritual brother, Alan. I appreciate you, Dread, for continuing to give me those spiritual gems and giving me all of this material to read. It's going to take me forever to get through these books. But Rome wasn't built in a day. Everything is a process. I am going to slow down a tiny bit because I think I'm having mental exhaustion between the JP and all of this reading I'm doing. I think I'm getting a little tired. So I am going to slow down a little bit. It's just that these are the things my brain loves. I love this stuff. This is what I've always loved. So now that I'm finally finding the things that I've been searching for, I'm just like a kid in a candy store. So it's exciting. And with that being said, because this podcast was about, my family not knowing me, they know of me, but they don't actually know me as a person. They don't know who I am. They don't know what I represent, what I stand for, none of that stuff. They just know of me through my mother, but they don't know me personally because I never let them come into my circle. There's a reason why I keep them at arm's length. I won't allow them into my circle because even before I was open with my spirit, I was always a vibe person. Not knowing that's my spirit just giving me signals like, hey, you might want to just keep these people at arm's length. You know what I mean? There were certain things I would see around my family that I would question, but I would keep it to myself. And when I see certain things, I'm like, it's going to keep quiet and keep it to myself. I'm going to say it like this. Your character defines who you are. Behavior defines who you are. And with me, what my family didn't realize, I'm not your average human being. If you think you can just talk willy-nilly to me, you bugging out, son. I listen to every word a person says to me. Even when a person think a nigga ain't listening, trust me, I'm listening. I fuck Chevy head up all the time because she don't realize I listen to everything. She realizes it now because she realized that I'm using a lot of her stuff that she told me I'm using it at work to benefit me. And she's like, nigga, using my stuff? Yeah, son, you told me. Like, nigga, I told you I listen. I listen. So anyway, I am going to play a video from my man called Fascinating TV. Shout out to Fascinating TV on YouTube. I want y'all to go check this man's channel out. I know he's a brother and he's using some type of computer voice because he always got these like, y'all can't see it, but he always got these like black images of spiritual people from like Egypt back in the Pharaoh days. So I'm like, I think this dude is black. He might be using this like computerized voiceover of a white dude, but I believe he's black, man, because all his stuff is always with black people in it. So I'm like, I think this guy is black. But his spiritual videos, they resonate with me so much. And I believe, because I'm telling you, meditation, sidebar. I hit the mic, my bad. Sidebar, meditation. I'm going to talk about this on the next pod episode, but meditation, it's really good. Because when you're in your meditation state, when you're in your meditated state and you're doing your meditation, that's your opportunity to talk to God. And dude, I've been talking to God, and every time I ask him to reveal something, he reveals it. Like I found this video gave me the inspiration to actually do the episode this week. So we're going to listen to this video, and I might do some commentary, but I'm going to play this video. This video is going to describe your boy. If my family or whoever else wanted to know who Omar is, who OG is, this video is going to explain to you who I am. And not only that, this video inspired me to make the pod, and the title of it is called "Why Do Most People Hate?" He calls it the chosen ones, but I more call it people who are highly spiritual, right? But he calls them the chosen ones. I understand what that chosen one word means. If you're not a spiritual person, you're not going to understand what that means. You're going to take that word out of context and think of it in the wrong way. The chosen one. But it's not what you think. It's something else. But I like to call it highly spiritual. We'll call it that. And it's why do most people hate highly spiritual people? That's the video we're going to watch right now.
Hello beautiful souls, and welcome back to my channel. After watching this exclusive video, you will finally know why you are special and being hated for no reason. Many things are happening in today's world. And whenever I wonder and ponder over it, the first thing that normally strikes my mind is hate. All you chosen people, of course, will relate with what I am about to talk about in this video. Listen. People will hate you and despise you, criticize you, demean you, and all for no good reason. And if there is a reason, they want to make sure you feel like you are absolutely beneath them. You know what? Most times they see in you the things that are not in them. I mean your powerful potentials. This is deeper than what I express in this video. That is why I use the term chosen one. And as a chosen one, you can treat people nice, but they still don't like you. When you find people like this, you have to ignore them. They just don't like you. When a moment arrived and some unpleasantness happens to them, don't turn your back. Remember, you are a loving, kind, caring individual, and you are not going to allow those narcissistic people come disrupt your life, who you know that hate you for no good reason. Truly, and deep within you, you know you have true love, kindness, knowledge, and all sorts of great values to offer to this world. Continually be kind despite of those hateful people, and keep it moving. Before I continue with this exclusive message, make sure to comment below that you will definitely cut off and let go of hateful, narcissistic, and energy suckers out of your life. Now, what I am not so happy about is that most people we call our friends and families hate the chosen ones, because they lack something that you have. It is just a common human behavior. People who are jealous of who you truly are not only hating you, but also hating your success and achievements. They hold an implicit bias against you because of some qualities you possess, and they themselves do not have. For example, your promotion at work, your taste in clothes, your hobbies, outfit, achievements. Or maybe, because of your unique way of thinking. More likely is that they dislike you for some reason. It could be that you, without knowing, did something to rub them the wrong way. You provoke some kind of jealousy or envy in them, or you are the object of their dislike, since the actual person is not available. Whatever it is not your problem, but theirs. Either they are jealous of your true potentials, feel threatened by you, or you remind them of someone or something that they hate. Don't worry about it. It is their problem, not yours. If it bothers you, just ask them, calmly and politely, what it is that you did. Usually you find that it was a big misunderstanding. It still shouldn't bother you that much. If you concern yourself over everything everyone thinks, you would never utter another word, and even that would piss someone off eventually. So, just ignore them and focus on your life and your progress, because sometimes it happens to be a distraction for you. As a chosen one, people may hate you also because you are too good. Don't be too good. We are taught to be good all the time. Yes, of course. But that is not the only way to respond to life.
So I'm going to pause it right there, and you guys see what he's talking about, man. I'm going to pause it right there. I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it some more, but you see what he's talking about, man. And when I was thinking, when I was, doing some meditation and asking God, like, what did I do wrong? This video came up. And it's like this video is speaking to me. And that's when I was like, oh, I know exactly what I have to do. As I told you, so I'm gonna love my family like what I've been doing since I moved out of NY. I'm gonna love them from afar. And because they don't understand me, they don't get me, I no longer have my good energy to be wasted on that anymore. That's that's toxic. That's really toxic and that's really negative. So I'm going to stay away from that and just continue in my positive vibe, my positive vibration. I only want to be around people who are vibrating at a high level, who are on a high frequency, who are doing great things so that can rub off on me. I stay far away from negativity, far away. Even at work, if I hear negative conversation, I'm out. I don't want to be around that. I'm all about good karma, positive vibration. You don't know. So we're gonna continue playing this video. Listen carefully. It resonates with me so much. That's why I feel so good. I feel great. Absolutely great.
Esteem must be getting affected negatively by experiencing such things. Hate is such a strong word, thrown around way too easy. Now let me ask you a question. Why do you give them an opportunity to behave bad with you? For me, if someone takes the first negative step, I will straight away show them the exit route, however important their presence may be. You need to be more strong and firm for your self-respect. Learn to be alone without embarrassment, at least better than being with thousands of people who don't like you. Sometimes in life, people have no valid reason for disliking someone. I have encountered it myself, at work, at social gatherings. I can tell as soon as I enter a room whether or not a person dislikes me or not. And the thing is, I have done nothing wrong to warrant the dislike. I can admit it is troubling and not right, but we cannot control others, only ourselves. So, what I do is to meditate and repeat my mindfulness affirmation so that I can get such kind of people out of my mind. Then, I ask God to grant me serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, and the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. My advice for you is to practice mindfulness affirmation and meditation, in case you find it had to forget of heartbreaks and toxic people. Unfortunately, toxicity is a part of life. People will hate you no matter what you do. So don't try and search for the morality in everything. Moreover, people probably hate you because they're envious or innately negative. The least you can do is ignore the negative people in your life, knowing that you did nothing wrong. And also, I think we have all been there. Most times, it was never and ever about you, but only about them. They live deeply in the many, weak states of fear. Hate is within fear. If you do something that they fear to do, or maybe things they can't ever imagine that will be possible to achieve, probably, they will hate you. Not really you, actually, but the part of themselves that knows they could, yet listens to the egoistic part. Badly educated, that says they can't. All the while, it was never about you. It is just their own internal battle. We are all falsely taught that we are quite impotent. That is not true, but many choose to believe that it is. Those who believe differently are bad people. Right? But of course no. But you may think it's for no reason, but it could just be the way you carry yourself. I'm blunt and honest, and I tell it how it is because I can't bother to waste my time sugarcoating things.
That is me to a T. I've always been blunt and honest. I can't sugarcoat anything, son. I just can't. It's not built in me. It's not who my DNA is. So it's like I said, I'm gonna bring this back to the fam. They wanted me to lie, put on a fake persona, and I'm like, if you knew me, you knew that's never was gonna happen. But it was clear as day that they don't know me, and I'm not gonna give them an opportunity to know me anymore, because I'm tired of it now. I'm tired of it, of the olive branch. So I live away from everybody for a reason. There's a reason why I live out here, and there's a reason why I'm away from everybody. I don't call nobody on purpose. I keep to myself because I've seen these things before. But because my mother wanted me to, it was her wish. It's her wish for me to make peace. Like I told her the other day, that's dead. I will no longer now be sticking on an olive branch. I'm going to leave them be. And there's no hard feelings at all. I just know who they are and I don't want to be around them. Period. Can't be around that stuff. You know what I mean? I'd rather be around myself and God and my angels. That's it. That's all I need right now. I don't need nobody. I love my mom to death. She's the one person that I call and talk to every day because I have a simple philosophy in life. I'm not going to give my mother her flowers when she's gone. I'm going to give her flowers when she's here. So I talk to her almost every single day. And I say that on the pod all the time. Call your mom, call your dad if they're still living. If you don't want to call them, send them a text. Don't give your parents their flowers when they're gone. Don't do that. Give them their flowers while they're here. Let bygones be bygones. We live in the age of technology, son. If you want to talk, send a text. Facts. So we're going to continue his video. We're almost done.
Talk with confidence, walk with confidence, and do things with confidence. And whether they hate you because of your confidence is not your own business. They truly have to deal with themselves. Many insecure people hate when others are confident. They want you to be miserable and look down at yourself. I just started a new job, and immediately I could tell one of my coworkers already hated me, and I did nothing. She looks at me with attitude when I walk by. I don't give her the time of day, which probably pisses her off too. Many people don't like me. But I don't care. It just feeds my ego and makes me even more confident in myself. Don't worry about them. They don't like you because they don't like themselves. Let them be miserable and unhappy. You stay strong and do your thing with confidence. This is your world. Leave it the way you want to. Let the haters be your motivators. Dominate life. I guess I can explain one category of situations. It's not that you have done something to them. It's your very existence that offends them.
And that's what I said. I told my mom this. I said, I didn't do anything to them, mommy. It's the fact that I was born. My very existence is what annoys them. Me being alive is what bothers them. So I'm like, yo, son, if that's the case, Dread, I is good. Trust me. I is good. Like I said, God has bigger plans for me. So, those are the plans that I'm following. Family is not part of that plan. He made that very clear. They're not part of the plan. God wanted me to, I tell you, God does everything for a reason. That's why I love God. He showed me, your mother's family, that's not for you, Dred. I have bigger plans for you. You need to leave them be. Let them walk their own path. You have a path that you need to walk. He wants me for something, and I kind of know what God wants me for, so I'm going to continue that path. Like I said, I'm going to just give God's message. That is the path I'm on now. I'm going to give God's words to people. I'm going to heal broken souls. So my mother's family, I am done, like this man said. Since I know that my very existence bothers you, you shall no longer hear from me or see me ever again, period. Unless you listen to the pod.
Your living like you do is a living proof of how spectacular their life philosophies fail. And out of frustration and shame, they blame you for letting them know that they are wrong. Well, if you encounter with one situation like this, just be better and be strong, and let them be. Because you can't wake someone up when he or she is pretending to be asleep. You are chosen to be woke at this moment in life. I call you the chosen one, and maybe you still don't understand how deep it is. However, I'm sorry that you feel hated. At least you know that if you have given them no explicit reason to dislike you, then the reason for their hatred is almost definitely something you could and should not change. So, you are in the right part. Don't be sad. If someone hates you, it means they can't see anything good in you. Always think positive and love yourself more. If you find value in this content,
Bingo. I love myself. Every morning when I get up, I say my little affirmation. I look myself in the mirror and I tell myself, I love you. Because if I don't love me, who's going to love me? If I don't love myself, who's going to love me? So every morning I look in the mirror and I tell myself, I love me, nigga. You know what I mean? I love me because if I don't love myself, who's going to love me? So before we end the pod, I'm going to end the pod with this quote. An empty mind is the devil playground. That's my gem for the week. I'm going to repeat. An empty mind is the devil playground. Let those words sink in. Once again, ladies and germs, this is episode, man, what is episode 10, season 1 of Our Thoughts Not Yours. It's your boy OG. I'm signing out. You done know. One love to everybody. Bless.